The shadow did not attack. It waited. Princess Aelina raised her lantern, and the mist around her shimmered, not with fear, but with memory. The darkness began to change. It wasn't a monster, it wasn't evil, it was unheard pain. Shapes formed in the fog, forgotten villages, broken promises, voices never answered. The shadow had grown not from cruelty, but from silence. Aelina lowered her lantern. She stepped closer. "I'm listening now," she whispered. The shadow trembled. Slowly it softened, its edges fading into light. The air warmed. The ground beneath her feet steadied. The truth revealed itself. The shadow had been guarding sorrow, waiting for someone brave enough to face it with kindness. Aelina placed her hand over her heart, and the light from within her spread outward, not to erase the past, but to heal it. Far away, the kingdom felt it. The land sighed, and for the first time in a very long while, the darkness rested. Morning arrived differently this time. Not quietly, not cautiously, but warm. As the first light touched the land, the mist lifted completely. Where shadows once lingered, flowers opened their faces to the sun. The air felt lighter, like the kingdom had been holding its breath, and finally let it go. Princess Aelina stood at the highest hill, watching the dawn spread. The lantern in her hand was no longer needed. Light now lived everywhere. In the villages, people woke with a strange sense of peace. Old aches eased. Long silent wells filled again. Children laughed without knowing why. Aelina placed her hand over her heart. The mark beneath her skin no longer glowed. It rested. Its work was done. The wind moved past her one last time, gentle and grateful, not whispering this time, but thanking. She smiled softly. This wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of a new way to rule, with listening, with kindness, with courage. As the sun fully rose, the kingdom stepped into its future, and everything felt possible again. The land was quiet, not silent, but listening. Princess Aelina knelt where grass met stone, where the castle road ended and the earth began. She removed her crown, not because she was finished ruling, but because some promises must be made as a human, not a queen. She placed her palm on the ground. The warmth rose gently like a heartbeat. The soil felt alive beneath her fingers. "I will listen," she said softly. "To the rivers when they run low, to the forests when they grow tired, to the people when their voices tremble." The wind moved around her, slow and steady, not whispering warnings, not carrying secrets. It carried agreement. Across the kingdom, bells rang once, not to command, but to remember. Flowers bent toward the light animals stirred without fear, and the land at last felt safe to speak. Aelina stood, placing the crown back upon her head, lighter now, because it no longer rested on power alone. It rested on promise. Years passed gently, not in battles, not in fear, but in seasons that returned as they should. Children grew up hearing her name not shouted, but spoken softly, like a favorite story by candlelight. They did not say she ruled with power. They said she listened. When rivers weakened, she walked their banks. When forests thinned, she planted with her own hands when people disagreed. She sat among them, not above them. Princess Aelina became queen without changing who she was. No statues were built in her likeness. No songs praised her victories. Instead, stories traveled, about a queen who knelt to the earth, who followed the wind, who faced shadows with compassion. One evening, a child asked an elder, "Will we ever have another queen like her?" The elder smiled. "As long as someone listens," she said, "her story will never end." And far beyond the kingdom, the wind carried that story onward, ready to find another heart willing to hear it.